Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Heal Yourself Naturally, brought to you by iPack. My name is Nicole. I am here with the lovely Hava and Sara Woods-Kender. So good to be back. Love our discussions. Today we'll be discussing healthy aging and ways to support longevity. Because we have so much to talk about and so much to cover, we're going to be going straight into it. And we'll also be discussing a little bit about our previous episodes, because they tie beautifully into this topic. So let's talk about what does healthy aging mean, right? Everybody has this preconceived notion that healthy aging means just living a long life, whether it be through medications or not. And we want to steer people into the direction of healing yourself naturally and using herbal remedies in order to really promote a healthy long life, not just a long life, but living with plentiful health. So I want to go straight into it, and I want to talk to Sara a little bit and see what is it that if you have patients that come in and are like, I just want, I want to live a long, healthy life. What do I have to do? What do you tell them?
Do you want my 10 bulleted list or do you want my 5 bulleted list? I'll just name a few
I want
things.
it all. I want it all. Give it to me. I'm ready.
Well, you have to eat well and keep your digestion healthy. Get good sleep. Gotta sleep 8 hours a night if you can. I'm really distressed by how many people don't get a good night's sleep. It's distressing. Moderate your recreational activities in regards to alcohol and drugs, especially hardcore drugs. They really, really do a number on all sorts of body parts. And be happy. Try to find happiness in your life.
Yes.
If you're not happy in your life, then your body's not happy, right?
Absolutely.
So mental health is super important. So
Yeah.
that's my 4 bulleted list. I'm sure I can think of more, but just off the top of my head.
Okay, great. I love it. One of the major things is that we have discussed, and we touched a little bit about it, is about also emotional health. And while you're trying to heal absolutely anything that you have going on, whether it even be just like a toe fungus or I don't even know, if you are not happy and if you are not in that right mindset, then any type of healing process will just take longer, and you'll inevitably put yourself in that mindset that, oh, I can't do this. I need to turn to that pharmaceutical. I can't do this by myself. It's not working. Or, you won't be accepting of the process. And healing yourself naturally is a process, but it's also a lifestyle change. And with that lifestyle change comes the mindset change. So you have to change your mindset, and you have to think more positively, and you have to encourage yourself on a daily basis, just like how Hava has mentioned when she's done her organ appreciation weeks, that daily affirmation where you have to tell your body, I love you. Thank you for working properly. Or if you're not working properly, I'm going to help you work properly. And so it's really important to put yourself in that mindset that you are doing yourself the greatest justice by taking matters into your own hands and not running off to pharmaceuticals and really pushing through it. And yeah, I love that. I just really wanted to wrap a bow around it and have people understand that it's very important for you to be in the right mindset. And even if you can't do it yourself, don't be ashamed of asking others for help.
Yeah, and I would just say the 5th thing would be to try to stay off pharmaceuticals. I mean,
Absolutely.
yeah, and reduce the amount. I mean, I would even say just forego the vaccines and use pharmaceutical drugs as a last resort.
Right.
Honestly, all these things, they're poisons for the body. And while sometimes we need medications, they are literally poisons for the body. And some of them, like these coumadins and warfarin, they are poison. They are it's rat poison essentially.
Right.
So
And they have so
avoid
much
that.
adverse reactions. And so you may be helping yourself a little bit here and there by, okay, I have diabetes that's not controllable. Let me go on a drug for it or whatever. But then all of these adverse reactions and what they actually do to your body long term disables the living a healthy life and the longevity of it. So you're not living healthily, even if you're reducing, your sugar levels or increasing for some people, whatever it might be. You're actually doing yourself a disservice. So a lot of it is a lifestyle change, and it's also a mental change on how you look at things. You need to be able to look at things differently in order to live a long, healthy life. And that's a major thing that people have to understand, is that you have to change your mentality. And sometimes they say that you can't teach an old dog new tricks, but you absolutely can. And it's all in your head. Most of everything is in your head, and you just have to retrain how your mind works. That being said, Hava, someone
Yes.
walks into your place and says, I want to live a long, healthy life. What are your, key things that you're going to tell them? This is what you have to start doing.
Okay, so there is a few things, but I was just looking for this important quote from Mark Twain that said once, the two most important days in your life are the day that you're born and the day you found out why. And I feel this is one of the most important things, because we are also souls coming into this place and we have a job to do. And the point is that when we come into the world and we don't know why we came, and we feel like hopeless, we feel like I don't understand why I wake up every morning. Like, what is the point for me waking up? And I do feel it's very important to find why are you here. For me, I was always searching, like, I was looking, oh, maybe I should be an artist, I should be a this, I should be, and always there is like things in your life that takes you to different how I would say, to different angles, so that way you will really found who you are. And when you really will find out who you are, the next day, oh, through your life, you will be much more happier, you will be in much more calmer place, you will be in a place where you say, oh, it's worth my life, worth to fight for. This is one of the most important things for me. As many people I see, this is what we are lacking, to understanding why are we here. So that will be the first thing. The second thing will be is to really age well, or really have a healthy aging, or is also to not be how I would say, connected to the system, because system ruins us. System makes you to be part of the sheep to the slaughter. That's how I would usually call it. And the system makes you to feel small. The system makes you to feel that you are need to do 1 2 3, you have to follow, you have to do certain protocols, instead giving you the understanding that you are a unique. There is no another person like you. Like, there is not the same handprint, we all different, so we have a different way of looking at. And I would say also, when we will break out of the system, and when the sickness will strike, we'll have a different outlook on life and on medicine, and we will use, like Sara said, medicine when only needed. Antibiotics are good only when there is a life-threatening situation. But when you are part of the program, when you've been trained and brainwashed, then you are really like sitting in a jail cell. Because there's one unique case of this woman who is an adult woman. She's suffering so much. And when I spoke with her and I tried, and she's like having two persons inside her body. One person said, I don't want this medicine, I don't want to be part of this pharma, I don't want to take the heart medication, I don't want to live on that. And then there is another part, you have to follow the protocols, you have to follow your doctors, you have to do what everyone says that you have to do. And then she's end up in the fight. And no matter what I will say, it will not get into her heart, because there is a fear, because there is a programming where she is afraid. to be and live with her soul, to understand where she is, where is her location. And that fight brings open heart surgeries, brings so much more problems, and a pile up of all these drugs, where in reality you just have to say, listen, let me get off everything, let me just get involved with my heart, with myself, understand who I am, and then from there I'll pick the pieces and I will be able to heal myself. See, and I found this is one of the another important thing is, so break from pharma, start being chained to this brainwashing. And another thing I would suggest is as much we live in the city and we live in areas, go to the rural area, go to areas where you can connect to nature. When you connect to nature, there is a time that when you will feel like you are reborn again, in a way, like nature really peels off all the stuff. And I can say this, when I go to my land and I'm there for a couple days, I become a different person. I absolutely change my thoughts, and then I come to the city and I become back again deep in the mud of the city, and they take pieces from me, and I feel this is so much harming, especially when we age. Is very important to get connected with nature. And I always say, if there is a time comes and we need to pass from this world, it's better to hugging the tree and being surrounded with family than sitting in a hospital in a death bed and seeing all these doctors and those machines beeping all around, fuck the system, man. That's not good. That's not good. We have to break through
Absolutely.
this. And this is the fear. And we need to understand we all have a time that we need to leave this earth. So it's better to live by hugging the trees and your family than being surrounded by the hospital members, unfortunately.
Surrounded
Doctors.
by fear. I
Yeah.
agree. And a lot of what you said is also, just disconnecting from everything and having more of a mind body connection, and so allowing yourself to really understand, okay, if you are in a job for 30 plus years that is making you absolutely miserable and you start having all of these health issues, then yes, address those health issues, but also address your surroundings, as you both have said so many times. Maybe this job that you've been doing for 30 years is really taking a toll on your body. So you need to also have this mind body connection and really be able to understand, how is it that I got here?
And
What is
and
it that got me here? You
And
know?
on that note, it's very important to do what you love, as I said before, what you
Yeah.
really love. And
Yeah.
we have people who are at age 19 and 100, and they're still in love what they do, and they wake up every morning. And this is
And
a
that's a
part
true
of
gift.
the beginning. What I said is the most important, when you are born and the day you find out why. So if you, let's say, want to be a healer, and you wake up every morning and you help healing people, you're just gonna live till 100. And you just, because
Right.
every day is a happening, every day is a wonderful day, is, yeah, I wake up. And this
Yeah.
positive outlook is very important. And
Finding a
all the
purpose.
surrounding that we have, all the media, news, politics, pressure, to be paying your taxes on time, paying your for your car, all these take a toll on your life and
Right.
take years from your life.
So eliminate the poison around you and eliminate the poison that's inside you. And I think that we can all take note of that and really understand that it's in our hands to, even if you're starting to have children now, it's so important that you stay away from things that you're told to do and really ask yourself, why are they telling me to do this to my child? Why is it that I'm being forced? In some states, the things are absolutely atrocious in what we have to do for our children in order to go to school, right? And you ask yourself, like, am I really doing a service to my child, or am I harming them for a long and healthy life? And is it worth it? No, it's not worth it. So wake up, buckle up, listen up, because we're here to change your life. And So healthy aging is not just for people that are in their finding themselves in an old, or that are older that want to progress into their years and live healthier. It starts with the children. And healthy aging starts from day one. And it really, really makes a difference when you don't, shovel these things into your kids. You'll see how healthy they actually are, how they don't get sick when they first start school or daycare or whatever. And everybody around you is like, wow, your child never gets sick. Well, maybe because I'm not shoveling garbage and poisoning in my child all the time. So wake up, people, wake up and understand that it's in your hands. And you have to start, you know, you have to stop shoveling the shit into your bodies, into your children's bodies, into your grandchildren's bodies, and start paying attention to what's going on around you and stop listening to everything that's being, all the media, all the garbage, everything that you're being told to do. Start asking questions and doing your own research and start listening to podcasts like these that are actually here to tell you the truth. Now, let's get into some herbal remedies, some herbs, and more more than anything, I want to talk about certain factors of healthy aging, right? And ways to support longevity. And a lot of people, we've heard, from clients and people that, hair, nails, sight, memory, those things are important to them, and that's what they want to hear. Even though some of them are on a superficial level, we understand that, we all just want to look and feel beautiful, but we have to make sure that we are beautiful on the inside in order for it to reflect on the outside. And that also really stems from how you think. But let's talk about hair growth first, and healthy hair. Sara, what are your favorite herbs for hair?
Nettles.
All of the
I
nettles.
all the nettles all the time.
Nettles,
Uh,
nettles all the time.
well, it's really important to obviously again with the gut health and being able to assimilate your minerals. What's
Yeah.
nice, and as we age, our assimilation is a little less efficient. So, again with the gut health, but when you drink tea, your body really just takes it in, and you can bypass any issues that may occur throughout your life that reduce your body's ability to assimilate minerals. So that's why I love tea. And so I would stick to herbs that are high in minerals. So my favorite is nettle.
Hmm.
It's Urtica dioica. It is also called stinging nettle. That's the one that I use for medicine. We harvest it pretty early in the season before it flowers, and it can be dried and used in tea. I really like oat straw as well, and oat is like the cereal. And I use that whole aerial part, which is the oat straw, and the oat tops, which is the seed. Both are very essential for nervous system, but it's because they're high in minerals. And when we nourish the body with those minerals, we get other side effects. So nervous system support, endocrine support, hair and nails.
Yeah.
And so I can also recommend, I get a lot in the shop women who have osteoporosis or osteopenia, and many of the recommendations that I would give them for that problem, I would also suggest for anyone who wants to support your hair, your nails, or your bones, or whatever. It's kind of all in the same
Right.
genre of things. And one remedy that in particular that I make, and I think Hava and I were talking about maybe doing some kind of remedy making demo on a side note. And this remedy is called fire cider. And I also call it a winter tonic or a mineral tonic, or I actually call it sacred fire cider because I'm sacred tree herbals. And what the vinegar, this is like a apple cider vinegar based remedy that goes back centuries. I mean, it's a very old remedy. Making medicine with vinegar is not anything new. And what vinegar does is, because it's acidic, it's going to pull out a lot of the minerals from the plant. So the fire cider has things like burdock root and wild sarsaparilla root, ginger and horseradish and garlic and cayenne. And you can throw in nettles if you wanted to, or oat straw. I mean, you can do whatever. It's basic. I kind of concentrate more on roots, but you don't have to. I mean, fire cider recipes, you just vary all over the place. You know, you can add whatever you want in there. So, and what's great about that, it's just like a couple of swigs a day. You're getting a lot of minerals, and you can add a little honey to it if you're not so keen on the vinegar taste. The honey kind of mellows it a little bit. And it's something you can just kind of swig, and you don't have to make tea. And there's a lot of times people who want to do
Right.
herbal medicine, they're confronted with, oh, the taste, or I don't have time, or I don't like tea, or, but the vinegar-based stuff and the syrups and stuff like that are pretty simple. You just take a couple of swigs a day. So nettles, oat straw, mineral tonics, apple cider vinegar-based products are really good. And I mean, I could go on with supplements, but we're talking herbs now anyway.
Yeah. So it's really all about increasing mineral, intake. And that has a lot to do with, like you said, bones, your hairs, your hair, your nails. And then also I'd like to talk just a little bit about, since we're going back on our topics, because we want people to understand that our first couple of episodes were there for a reason, because they're the foundation of healing, right? And so circulation is a big thing. So if you're lacking that circulation in those areas, let your hair loose, let it go. Start massaging, start really not, you can do things internally like taking teas, but you can also massage it, clap your head. We did this and it was kind of jokingly, but just start
There you go.
clapping. Yeah, there you go. Start. And that feels
Great, that's
amazing.
good.
That's one of my favorite tools ever. But start increasing the circulation in the area, and you'll see that, okay, you're uptaking your minerals and you're increasing the circulation in the area so that it goes straight there. It goes to where it needs to go. And okay, Hava, straight to you. I'm gonna hand you the mic. I want to hear your take on healthy aging, about hair and nails, since they, go together. And what would you suggest? What are some of the herbs or your favorite remedies and ways to increase the growth and the health of hair and nails?
Okay, so from my experience, what I found out is obviously, I was actually on my way to make a video with the nettle seeds hair wash. So funny, Sarah. And then you just mentioned the nettles, and I'm like, oh, I didn't make a video for a long time. I have to do it. But I was thinking about the nettle seeds and prepare the tea and use them as a hair wash. So this is what I was thinking, and I do agree. The nettles are so rich in minerals and are absolutely incredible. And I would suggest drinking nettles, and also using nettles as a hair wash, as well as a rosemary really helps to bring circulation in. You just said about the circulation, and that circulation is very important. And we need to understand, as we age, we actually no longer getting essential minerals. And yesterday I was listening to the class of a doctor from Germany, and he spoke about that we are living such a toxic state that no matter what we eat, even if we eat organic food, there is so much plastic and so much aluminum all around us that's actually preventing, and roundups and all these crazy chemicals that we are surrounded, that actually diminishes our absorption of minerals. And I see that a lot of doctors right now, they put a lot of pressure into educating people that we need to take those isolated forms of minerals. They push you to take different supplements, which are all in a very isolated forms. And the beauty, what Sara is teaching, and I follow as well, is by introducing herbs. And there's nothing more beautiful and rich in herbs when they come in a wholesome state. So yes, so taking herbal tea like alfalfa, or taking a tea like a like uh, which one, hops, let's say, or for the hair, let's say nettles or oak bark. All those stuff are so rich in minerals that are a beautiful infusion. They go straight into your bloodstream and doing that amazing job. So I do suggest that we should increase our minerals uptake. We should increase, but do not take in isolated forms and use herbs. And my favorite, again, as well as Sarah's, I mean, I think with this we all agree that nettles are absolutely rich in so many essential minerals, and many other, like raspberry leaf tea is good for the female health, and the raspberry will also so rich in so important minerals that will help you to regulate your periods and help you with if you having a lack of iron, and this is like a whole supplemental food right in there.
Right. And a
And
delicious tea, and it's
and
very great
delicious tea.
tasting.
And then
Yeah.
what I love is about that you can combine stuff together. And
Right.
for a couple days, what I've been doing, I've been taking a bardock root, and I've been taking a little bit of hawthorn berries, a little bit of ginger, and I will like cooking all those together, simmer it, and then making like a strong decoction. And then you just put a little bit into the a cup of water, and just add more water. If you want, you can add some honey and drink it through the day.
Right.
Now, through the day doesn't mean that we have to every 15 minutes sip it like through the day, because that's also not good for our dental health, which I'm learning now also. But the idea is that this is how we take our minerals in. And
Right.
this is what as we need to educate people, and we need to tell people, go you have some dandelion, go have some carrots, go, stop isolating yourself and feeling like, oh, I'm lacking. Go eat some carrots, have some carrot juice, and you have the whole mineral right in there.
Right.
And so that's the whole idea from for me. And to bringing circulation, which is a clapping, headstands are very good, and also stretching. As we age, we don't stretch anymore. What is the best way to see that how old we are is if we pull the chair out and we kind of sit for some time, and then start like
Slowly
pulling up,
rising. Yeah.
and then if you cannot do it, that just shows you how bad the circulation is, how bad the blood is not flowing. So they just show you that it's very important to do stretching. Stretching
Right.
helps really create circulation. And if you see all these people in China and other areas, how they do this Tai Chi, and it looks so
Beautiful.
crazy, right? They look
It's
like
so
dance,
beautiful.
and they show you like, oh, touch like the water. It's all about the movement.
And you
And
should
once we
see,
move,
sorry, I want to say something. I did visit, I was in China for 2 months working, and it was a culture shock to say the least, but one of the most beautiful things that I saw while I was there, and I used to walk to work every day because the office buildings were close to the neighborhood where I was. And it was so brilliant to see on my morning walks and my afternoons back for like lunch and whatever. The whole garden and park near the building, people just stopped everything they were doing. And every age, okay? I'm talking about like super elderly to very young teenagers, whatever, and they were all doing this. And it was so beautiful to see. Another thing that they took extremely seriously was clapping. And you saw it everywhere while they're waiting, like selling in their booths or whatever. You just see people constantly hitting themselves. And at first I was like, what the hell are they doing? Because I was pretty young at this time of my life. And I was like, yeah, I think I was maybe 20, 21. And I was like, gosh, what are they doing? And slowly I learned over there about Chinese medicine, and someone told me what it was. And I was like, wow, that's so incredible. They take so much time throughout their day to take care of themselves. And it was so beautiful to see. And also during lunchtime, no matter what, if you came with them, even with a suitcase of $1 million, they wouldn't look up from their plate because it was their time to eat and their time to take care of themselves. And so I found it beautiful. It was really, really shocking to see that they took the time in the day to stop everything they were doing to take care of themselves. And that's what we have to do as well. We have to take the time.
I
Just
wish we could see it.
it's one of the most beautiful sights. And like at first I was like, wow, these people are, there was so much about China that was just so shocking to me. There was the good and the very bad and whatever, but that was one of the most like inspiring things. And I went into like a couple of the massage places, circulation, acupuncture, Chinese medicine. I went everywhere, just like I was soaking it all in. And at the time, I was nowhere in this mindset. I wasn't yet a mom, and I was living under pharmaceuticals to the maximum. If my doctor told me to run straight into a wall, I would have done it. And when I walked in there, and it was just like calling to my soul. And that was something that, like Hava said, like find something that makes you happy. And that's when I found this, when I found natural healing, and when I found that guiding people and families and young people that were just having children on how to do things in the natural way, it just spoke to me in such a way that I was like, this is it, this is my calling. And it really has kept me healthy mentally, emotionally, physically, in all ways, shape, and form, because I'm doing something that matters to me and matters to the world. That being said, I feel like I'm getting into this conversation today. But that being said, it really, we have to take things into our own hands. And Sara said something about people not wanting to take time to make teas or whatever. So making concoctions ahead of time and letting them steep, letting them ferment, letting them really, really, really increase in potency are one of the easier things to do. And I would love to do and see this thing that this class that you guys want to do, and we're going to talk all about it, and we're going to send information to all of our followers and listeners so that they can really learn hands-on how to make their own remedies. I think it's incredible. Also, back to pharmaceuticals and what Hava said, even supplements in their isolated form, right? Because we're thinking we're taking a supplement, we're taking vitamin D, we're taking this. Your body doesn't know what to do with that. It doesn't know what to do with these things. There's a reason why God gave us herbs on this planet, right? He gave us herbs for a reason, because that's how our body responds best to it. We just have to know which ones are good for what. And even if you don't know and you just want to start experimenting, see how your body feels. So like Hava said, I'm taking burdock right now with a little bit of hawthorn berry and ginger, and seeing how it feels to me and seeing how it speaks to my body. You should do that too. You should grab a couple of those herbs that we've spoken about, even the ones that you have in your house, like we've mentioned in our last podcast, some of those things to increase your immune system that you have in your spice cabinet, most likely. Start doing that. Start using it. Start taking care of yourself and healing your body, even though you might not think you need healing. You absolutely do. We all do. I
I would
want to
like
talk.
just
Yeah.
one minute. I would like also to add something that very rich in minerals are the seaweeds. Something that
I love that.
I think that we forgot to mention, but seaweeds are very rich in minerals, and I would suggest that get your seaweeds into your diet as well. Just make sure they are coming from the clean source, and
Right.
and also salt is very important in our diet, and you should get rid of the junky salt, which is the white salt that regular table salt does not give anything, actually bribes you from minerals. So as more the clear pure salt you can get, you should add it into your diet as well. And then other thing that I was thinking is also, I would suggest that every single person, whoever will listen, no matter what your age is, if you want a healthy aging, you need to add iodine into your diet. And as I said, if I would suggest doing an iodine test with the Lugol's iodine, where you can apply this on the inner part of your hand and then inner part of your elbow, and monitor and see how long it takes for the iodine to disappear from your skin. Because now there is a whole movement that really we understanding that we are so lacking iodine, that's causing us so much damage, and not only health wise, but um, also I would say emotional health, and it all comes from iodine deficiency. It's like many years ago we've been lacking vitamin C, and we found out that the vitamin C is the one that helps with the scurvy, if I'm not mistaken, right? With the scurvy. And so now we have the same issue with the iodine, because all the food's been pulled out of these essential minerals. So I would suggest everyone do iodine test and supplement it, either in a nascent form, or either you should just as I said, have more seaweeds and do still the test and apply on over your skin. So that's another thing. And actually also iodine can be added into our hair wash with the nettles, with the rosemary. You can add few drops of iodine that will help also to detoxify, clean, and really help to regrow your hair. So yeah, that's I didn't want to forget about that. And
No, I
another
love
thing,
that. The more the better.
another thing I found is like you can make it just a regular hair wash, like a water base with a little bit castor oil, let's say, and some oil and some infusions from nettle and oak bark with other things that maybe one day me and Sarah will do something together, and then just spray it through the day. It's like not necessarily you have to do something, but if you just spray it like this and massage, your hair, and that's it. That's all what you need to really help to improve circulation and feed your hair. So yeah, so that's another thing. See, it's doable. It's right here while we are talking on the podcast. We're
Yeah,
doing
exactly. It's all doable. It's a matter of if you want to do it or not, if you want to take it into your own
yeah,
hands.
I just wanted to.
Let's talk about memory and brain function. Sarah, I would love to hear some things about how to increase one's memory. What can you do for healthy brain function? Herbs, lifestyle changes, all of it. I want it all from you today.
Wow. Do we have enough time for that? Oh,
I want all your
want it
important little
all.
tidbits. Yeah, I want it all.
Well, that there's a lot of facets to that, as typical for any topic, right? But you know, we could do herbs for memory, and I have lots of herbs that we could use, like ginkgo is nice. I like ashwagandha, bacopa, gotu kola, rosemary. We can introduce these herbs into your body, and that can help with cerebral circulation and happy hormone and modulated hormone and neurotransmitter function of the brain. But there's a lot of different reasons why people have brain issues and brain fog, right?
Right,
But again, we're back to the gut. We're back to diversity of microbiome, the bacteria and the different bugs in your gut. So we
right.
really want to support that with fruits and vegetables. And we also want to support the body's ability to deal with stress.
Yeah.
So stress is a major component of why a lot of people have memory problems. Cortisol, in the body for too long. While cortisol is an important hormone, it's also very destructive if it's in the body for too long, as well as other adrenal hormones. So I'm using adaptogens as well, and this is why I like ashwagandha for brain and for stress, because it helps. These adaptogens, it's a classification of herbs that help your body deal with stress, and I use several of them. But ashwagandha is nice because it has a brain and thyroid component,
Yeah.
so it supports both. um and so other adaptogens I like are schizandra berry, and gotu kola is considered an adaptogen too, I believe. And so, you can mix and match the different types of adaptogens that are also what we call nootropics, which will help increase circulation of the brain. But again, good food, support the microbiome, support the hormones. Okay, menopausal right here. Hello. I'm 53 years old, and I'm telling you right now, I'll have a conversation with somebody and I'll be like, what is that word? What is that word? Oh, yeah, fish. Fish. the things that swim in the ponds and stuff. It's like the simplest words don't come to mind. So support hormone balance. And there's a ton of herbs to do that. It's a whole area of focus that we could talk about again in another podcast. But I mean, I help women, including myself, with menopausal symptoms, whereby we are using plants to support the hormone production that the body is already kind of doing. And you don't have to go on hormone replacement therapy. And many women, as they age, are still on these what I consider destructive hormones where they feel great. But again, it's just like when someone says, yeah, I eat well. Okay, what does that mean? So
Right.
I feel great. I don't have any problems except this, and this. And much of it is downstream problems because they're on these
Medications.
synthetic hormones. So
Right.
support hormones, support gut, and yeah, we can actually target with herbs actual circulation to the brain. Another one is lion's mane mushroom, which is making the rounds in the ethers, and many people come in wanting lion's mane. But again, I caution, using a lot of different medicinal mushrooms without knowledge can be, in my opinion, not dangerous, but it can, if you have an autoimmune disease, it's not a good thing to be using a lot of these mushrooms. So I'll just say that as an aside. But lion's mane is a mushroom that grows even in New Hampshire. People are posting it on their mushroom pages, and we're seeing it bloom all over right now. Easily harvested and processed for food, but really wonderful as far as, and we have science to back this up. It actually repairs the nerves, and it will increase brain function and things like Parkinson's and Alzheimer's. We're seeing wonderful results. So, I'm using herbs, but it's never just about the herbs, right? So we're really supporting the body, gut health, reducing fungal overgrowth like candida contributes to brain fog, but certainly hormone health. So that's kind of my that's kind
I
of my
think we should
almost
do a
all.
whole thing about hormones because it's not just women who suffer it as they're getting older, it's also men. So I think we should have a whole podcast about hormones, and that will be like,
Yeah, we
an
call that
hour, if not an
menopause.
Right.
Menopause.
They do have that. They do. And some of them don't like to admit it. But something that you said is that we really want people to catch on that is that gut health, right? Gut health is so important because also the digestion of minerals and different things that you want to aid your body with will not be possible if your gut is not healthy. And so that's why we had those first three classes in the order that we did. And I want to encourage everybody to go re-listen to them, even as we move on and we go into podcast number 20. Go back to the first couple of ones so that you can understand why those things are so important because we'll keep bringing them up. We brought circulation up. We brought up bowel, gut health, proper bowel movements, digestion, and we're going to bring it up all the time because it's really the main keys of staying healthy and living a healthy life. Hava, I want to hear some of your favorite herbs about for brain function and especially memory. What do you suggest?
Well, I think Sarah mentioned all the main ones, and the classical ones is a ginkgo that we know. It's a classical herb, and then obviously rosemary, and also gotu kola is wonderful. All those herbs are amazing, and I don't need to add more into it. I think
Yeah,
what I mentioned. I
perfect.
think what I can add on top of it, it's another. I mean, I don't know if it's considered an herb or whatever, but the spirulina, it's very important because spirulina is very rich in minerals, and as you see, I'm going back to the mineral rich items, because this is how we build up. We build up out of minerals. And I would suggest that people would increase their spirulina intake. And there is also green algae that I think it's called E3 Life, that and Clamas in Oregon, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know, but they are wonderful supplement to send more oxygen toward the head. See, the whole idea, I'm many years ago, I've heard one very famous healer said that when they opened the brain of the humans who suffered from Alzheimer's and dementia, they actually, what they saw is their brain was in a perfect shape, but it was hard as a stone, meaning there was no blood flow, that was so dead, there was no nutrients, it was no essential fats, there was nothing, it was just the brain dead. And that's how it's important to bring circulation toward our head. And I would also encourage a lot of people, it's as well, not only taking but also using the brain, meaning learning things by heart, reading a lot, and
Brain
going back.
exercise. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Actually, games, I think, are not bad in that case. I would suggest, I actually was at one of the concerts, and there was I think it was a Bob Dylan concert couple of weeks ago, and next to me there was an old couple, and they've been playing with the world matching. I said, oh my gosh, it's like a crossword. I remember my grandfather would do it. Now you guys doing this over the phone, and you see them both sitting and trying to figure out what is exactly the letters to feed this letter. So I think it's very important, because a brain is a muscle, and it's not only brain. Eyes is a muscles, and doctors must know it's not a muscle. It's all about muscle. You train, and you'll see how it work, and it will keep you sharp till your death. That's the beauty of it. And removing garbage out of your system. So that's when I suggest spirulina. It's not only to send oxygen in, but also remove the garbage out of your system, so that way you can detoxify. Other herbs are wonderful, is blueberry. Blueberry fruits are amazing. Just munch onto some blueberries, are very good for our health. Then all other eat in a wholesome state. I mean, Sara, I think, covered everything so nicely. I'm just like trying to add a few more other
That's
things.
beautiful. Yeah, I think it's great. That's why I love the two of you
Spirulina,
together.
eat Mediterranean diet, and I think a lot of people now starting to understand that. And what is the Mediterranean diet? It's just basically a variety of different meals, which are close to the seasonal times, which like you don't eat watermelon in the winter time. You're freezing to death and you're eating watermelon. Obviously it's not healthy for you. So seasonal food, like enjoy a real food, and then you'll see how well you will start interact. So I mean, we can go over again, and very important is the exercising, stretching, removing the garbage out of your system, doing some sort of a brain exercises. Reading is very important. I see that many people, like them, we are most now hooked on the phone, but the phone has sending us a blue light. The blue light actually calcifies our brain, so that's not a good idea.
Right.
So have a time where you just off of everything and read.
Yeah.
And I can tell from myself that there is a times that I'm trying to stay away from computers and just really read. And now I'm kind of having a hard time, because I'm so used to be on the computer. It's so easy. You can open pages and read 100 things.
Oh, tell me about it. I downloaded Kindle on my phone. It was like the worst thing on the planet, because I'm such a page turner. Like, I love to feel the pages. I love to smell the books. I'm all about it. But then my bookcases have just filled up to I have no space left for books, and my husband wants to kick me and my books out. And then I started downloading them on Kindle Unlimited. I paid the subscription, and it's because I've been reading so much. But let me just tell you, it was something that I wanted to mention, and I'm so happy you mentioned it, about even learning something new. You can be 50, 60, 70, 13, 15. I don't care the age. Learning does something to your brain. It sends sparks, and even just relearning something and doing brain exercises that involve critical thinking, that just ignite.
A
Right.
ceramic art, those stuff are very important. I even would mention this to my mother-in-law. I would say, like, don't sit home and cook all day long, because that's what she loves to do, which is very good. But you need to also do something different, like learn new skills, know how to, how
Knit.
you
Yeah.
craft, knit and craft. All those are very important because it's all brain and mind connection. And when you all the time on the phone, you don't have the connection.
No.
And as you mentioned, it's good, yeah, take the book, an actual book, hold it in your hand, put like some sticker, oh, this is where I need to read. This is very important. We lost this. That's why it's very important to
Right.
go back to what, yeah.
Go back to everything. So we really need to understand things were given to us for a reason. Seasons are here for a reason. Eat seasonally, treat your body with respect, treat it like the temple that it is. And then you'll see that you'll age gracefully, beautifully. You'll live a long, healthy life. And we're here to guide you. As always, whoever wants any more information from Sara or Hava, you can visit their websites. Sara's is sarasherbs.com. Hava's is havawellness.com. We encourage you to set up appointments with them, phone, video calls, visit their social media accounts. Sara favors Facebook, so you can find her on Facebook. Hava's more on Instagram. You can find her on Instagram. They do link up together on Facebook. We hope to very soon see these classes on the hands-on creating of medicines and concoctions that people can really benefit from. And even if you have these things, or if you make it and you don't use it right away and it stays and it becomes more potent, or even if you end up tossing it, it's about learning, right? Like we said, learning something new, getting those,
Plasticity.
wheels turning. Yeah, getting everything turning. It's so important. It's so vital. We will also be discussing, I feel like in the future we need to do a hormone class, and we'll do that. Our next episode is going to be touching base on the title is Keep the Channels Open, Supporting Our Largest Organ, Our Skin. And we've talked here and there about our skin, but we're going to talk about it more in depth next our next session, and how wonderful that is. And then we'll also healthy aging with our skin. We want our skin to age gracefully and healthfully and not have to inject any garbage in our body to look like plastic, because then you'll end up feeling like plastic. So we'll talk about that. I love my time with you ladies, because I think that there's so much beauty in what you do, and it's so nice that to hear you guys go back and forth. And I hope everybody enjoyed. Thank you for seeing us. We'll be seeing you next time on Heal Yourself Naturally. We bid you adieu.
Can I have a final thought?
Oh, absolutely. I'm sorry.
Final thoughts. Dot dot dot.
Okay, okay. Final thought. Final thought.
Well, I just wanted to touch base again on just as in general, longevity and healthy aging is really just about living your authentic life, taking time for yourself, all the things we mentioned, gut health, getting good sleep. One point about memory and sleep too is really important, is that when you sleep, your brain shrinks about 60%, and that is your clean out for, it's almost like a defrag when you're defragging your computer, or when you used to. You don't really have to do that anymore, but it cleans out all the gunk in your brain. And Hava mentioned that autopsy with that brain, which was so hard. Well, it's because it's not getting detoxified. So I just want to mention that sleep is so important in living authentically. Find your passion, find your purpose. If more than one, of course, we all have more than one purpose, but
Right.
do it. Just do
Yeah.
it.
It's never too late to do what you love, right? even if it's on the side or even learning something that you've been wanting to learn for so long. I feel like today's discussion was a lot more spiritual, which I love, because healing is also you must do it spiritually in order to have your body take effect in a sense, right? Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, it all ties in together. But thank you, ladies, again. I really appreciate your time. I hope our viewers appreciate the time that you both give and in enlightening us in all of this beautiful knowledge. And we'll be seeing you all next time.